Good morning, all. It's Thursday, May 13th at what was it, 8:45, 49, something like that, just a little before 9. So we're a little pre-market here. Anyway, what I've got here is my big screen on the side there with my 8 charts that I have. I don't have NASDAQ. One of these days I keep saying I'm going to put that on there, but I don't. Just don't know where to put it or what I should take off. But in any event, well, only because that one is so squirrely and it needs different settings, and these are all the same settings. So these charts are a little different. This is a different version I'm running than you guys. So I have all my labels on because we're trying to rule something out, which we've done. So now the next version that comes back should have no labels on them, so it's cleaner. But in any event, you can kind of see it if I blow it up. Any event, so I'm running 225, Sim 225, and basically that's going to be running 2 contracts, one coming off. I've got the settings under 225 if you need to see them. I could discuss it later, but in any event, so it's 2 contracts, two stops, but one target. So the hope is that the other one runs, and the trade management that I have is in there for stop trailing and all that. So hopefully we'll get a nice runner in there and see what happens. But anyway, that's what it is. So let me fire them on. We're gonna do maybe 45 minutes of 50 minutes, or 40 minutes of some pre-market, and then we'll go into the regular session, and then at the end I will evaluate it and try to keep this like to 10-minute synopsis. So there's all going on right now. So they're on active right now, and then I'll come back and we'll divide them up and find out which one's a winner and which one's a loser, and maybe evaluate it a little bit. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to pause it. Well, here, let me see. Just let me look at ES real quick. You can see there's some trades that I have. You can see it's a long stop. There's a short, so a long stop again. Oh yeah, it must be a trail. But in any event, so this one, two going on here. This is all historical because I just turned it on, so they're not live trades here. They're just showing the historical. This one was a loser. This one went on, took a target. The stop was right here. The initial stop was right here, and the initial target is right there. And then it bounced up on the pivot. Then it bounced up on this pivot. It took its target, and now the stop is right here. This, so, which looks like it's probably going to get stopped out in a second, or not. But in any event, let's see what else. Let's do what is crude. Okay, so it goes for a sell, hits the target. There's the stop up here, and then it pops down and trails down, trails down, trails down, hits your target, trails down, and of course then it gets stopped out. So unfortunately, it's nice to have that runner so I can get some data, but that the average moves are not like it used to be. So anyway, we'll come back to it. What happened to this one? No, it's still farting around. All right, well, we'll see what happens, and maybe I'll turn it on just right before the market and watch 5 minutes of live, see what happens, and then if I remember, if I don't get too busy, and then we'll evaluate later. Okay, bye. Hey, anyway, the market just opened. We were down a little bit. Let's see what's running here. Let's take a look at some of this. Okay, here's our runner. So I got in here, trailing down, and now we're here over this pivot. Hopefully it won't take it out. Let's see what crude's doing. Crude's going on. Is that the one I just looked at? All right, so what's this one? ES. Okay, so entry, and then basically a wash. got a tick or two out of that second contract, but this one's running. So this is where I'm kind of, only because I don't have my code yet, I'm letting it run with no target. And the reason for that is I want to measure the moves. I want averages of the moves. And I think in the real life world, I probably would just have some target up there to be done with it and take it, rather than giving all this back. However, I'm trying to measure moves. And the only way to do that is to not have a target because I don't have my extensions yet. Once I get my extensions, it'll do it for me. But since I'm waiting for code, I figured I might as well just go ahead and try to measure it myself and collect the data. So anyway, that's where it is. So I went in, got a target, came back, pretty much break even, nothing, tried it again, went in, got my target, and then just kept running. So that's where we're at. What's going on here? Same thing here. Looks like a long stop. Didn't hit the target, but again, fiddle farted around. This time it took out your target, and my target would have probably been up there, but look at this, how it's just running. Now, this is beautiful. What is this? YM. So this is ideal. So now the ATM's taken over. So that was going on the pivot, but now the ATM's taken over. It's not going to let it. We're not going to hang down here for a stop. It's going to kick up. So anyway, that's beautiful.
Order submitted.
Oh, yeah, boom, pivot. So I just popped it back up a little tiny bit. Oh, that's perfect timing. So now it'll stay there until the ATM starts taking it away again, which I'm thinking very shortly it might pop us out here. It's going to pop up there on the new pivot, and there it is. And once it starts, yeah, same amount. Okay, that's good. Anyway, it's 2 minutes after the open, so it's what, 9:30 something. What just went on? Oh, this is our crazy steroid thing. This thing's nuts. So it just popped up from here to there, based on the pivot. It still hasn't hit a target yet, but now that's dangerous with RTY and NASDAQ and stuff. You're going up too soon. I understand what it's trying to do, but seriously. So there's the other rule that I don't have yet, the KISS. When it comes within 2 ticks, or whatever we set it for, I'm thinking 2 and 3 or something. But anyway, if it comes within 2 ticks and retraces by 2 ticks, take it out. Make a target. So it popped up a little bit there, and this time hopefully it'll take it out. All right, looks like we're going up. All right, so I'm going to let this go, and I'll come back later on and see if we can hang on to this. All right. Just checking in. It's 10 minutes to 10. New York time. This one got in. Hit target, and now we're just on the runner. Oh no. Runner got out here, and now we got in again, and target's up there. And we'll go from there. Okay. I'll come back. Okay, I'm back. I just ran this one up myself, and I got out right here on that divergence area, and just because I ran it, it just needed to pull back, but now I'm pissed because it just took me out by a little bit and took off. Anyway, that was my line that I was shooting for, so it'll probably hit it now, that amount, but in any event. This is following the pivot. I probably should have followed the pivot because it was down here out of the way, and then it popped up here on the pivot. Oh, well, anyway. That's here nor there. That's good enough. Good enough for government work. Yeah. Oh, now I'm really pissed. Okay, I don't want to see it anymore. All right, so we're just hit $4,000. It's 10 o'clock, 10:05. I wish this happens every day, and I wish I could have been in here live, but target, nothing. YM probably is going to run her too. Yeah, you can see this one here. So target, and then pivot, 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 and then the ATM takes over, and then it pops up here with the pivot. Oh no, it got out. It got out here on the. Why did it get out there? Oh, I see. It went up here. Okay. So there was a pivot down here, This created the pivot right here, that wick, because you don't need a full bar. I have it set for 7 ticks, I think it is. Anyway, so it went up there in a wick, and it popped up behind it, because if it can't make it and can't even get the reversal bar here, then I don't want it. Sure enough, it came back a little bit more, popped me out, and took off again. But we got back in here, and this will fail, I'm sure, because we need a pullback. So in any event, but yeah, like 4,700 bucks. So that's going to be some good data to look at. I'll make notes that this is a big trend day. So this is designed for that. So here my code though, the issue is I don't have the code that could recognize a trend day and recognize a chop day. If it's a chop day or just a normal day, you want to take the little targets, and it'll automatically do it. It should automatically recognize the difference. And when it sees a trend day like this, of course you'll miss a few trend day trades, but ultimately when it runs and you see that, then it's going to recognize it and it's going to put on a different strategy setting. But regardless, it has to know what the rules are, and I don't have that code, so that's why I'm not trading this live, and I would not recommend you do it. But I am collecting the data, and I'll throw it in the spreadsheet and we'll evaluate it. So I'll pause for now. See if we lose it or keep it or grow. Okay. So actually, what will happen? Let's see. Here's the pullback there. So this isn't going to take any. Yeah, this probably won't take any. Yeah, it might take one up here to get up to here. It should hopefully make that first target. Now this is my line. That's not a line. Now I could put on a. It probably should. Well, no, I could hit it. I was thinking I could do a barrier bar. Like right there, but it's off because it's dashed. If I turn it on, it'll. But that's enough room to go. It'll probably hit it, so I'll just turn it off. No big deal. Anyway, if I wanted to do it manually, that's what those are for. But this is just a drawing line that I have. That's nothing more than my own line. Ultimately, I would like to have those printed in there automatically, and then have the same code that I have for the barrier bar. And that is if it gets too close or within, I think I forget what I have it set for. I think 20 ticks. If it doesn't have 20 ticks, then pass it. If it's turned on, like right now. Now it's on. So if I don't have 20 ticks, if it sets up but I don't have 20 ticks, it'll pass it. But that should be automatically. So it's all coming, but all in due time. All in due time. So now we're going to be doing some. We're probably not going to get much trades here because, yeah, it's not going to set up. Yeah, we got to get it wound up again. So maybe this is a good time to pull the data out. Well, that's all right. I got the data. I'm just going to let it run. All right, I'll be back. Here, I just needed to show you this real quick. It made it. A little fire pullback that I would have liked, and it still would have kicked us back here. So I'm glad that I got more alerts going off. So yeah, but it did make it. So that was my target, my ultimate target.
Fourth target fell.
Well, now this one's going. I don't know if there's enough room to do that, but this code is not in here, so we'll see what happens. Oh, we got NG News. Okay, I got a news thing on. All right, so we got. I can watch. Was it NG? Do I have NG? We got NG News coming up. I'm gonna let it run through news. I'll come back. I'm gonna let it run through news, and then I'm gonna evaluate it later. But I'll come back. Just checking in again real quick. My ES, that one that took. So I got in again here. So I pivoted up, got in, and so now I'm trying to hit that one again. All right. Anyway, I'll come back. And I'm gonna turn this on real quick because I got NG News going on in a second, and I'm doing a first 10-minute trade, news trade, and it's on NG today. So it just triggered off. It went long. Boom, boom, hit target. Done. It's out. I didn't show it. It's on a different screen, but in any event, it's just it's a news alert. You can't do it on a prop firm because it's their rules. It can't do it. So in any event, this one is a little of a problem. This one here had a glitch in it. I had to shut down. It left a third target on there, so I'm just putting it at break even. But anyway, oh, are you kidding me? See, there's that target. My KISS rule again. I don't have the code on it, but the rule is that if it gets within whatever you set it for, 2 or 3 or 4 ticks away from your target and it retraces, just take it out as a target. Good enough. But I don't have that yet. So in any event, still hovering around 5 grand. We breached it, or a little over, I think 58 or something a little while ago. But anyway, I'll come back. All right, guys, I'm back. I've had some technical difficulty here, so I want to reboot my computer. But before I do that, I finish this video up. Here, in case you don't know how to dump the data into the spreadsheet, so you're in control panel, new trade performance. It has to be in trades and currency are the 2 requirements. When you go to your filter, you can come down here, you stretch it, you know, whatever. But so you want to turn on your filters, click the choice of click whatever choice you want. In my case, it's the 225 account that I'm looking for. If you want any specific market, then you could just you know, pick whatever you want. But in this case, I want them all, so I'll turn them all on. So they're all on. The templates are fine. Okay, so once you have all your data here, you want to right click and you want to export. And it doesn't matter if you have Excel or not, it's going to export it to Excel. You don't have to have Excel, you just won't be able to view it. But actually, I think you might be able to, like, I think Google's or something. But it's just going to be data. Anyway, I've already done it here. I just called it FFFFFF. So no big deal here. So I won't do it again. But it defaults to the date, the time that you're doing it. So you definitely want to put your name in there or something like, you know, Lloyd's or whatever. Some time. Actually, I prefer the dates, but you know, whatever, just so I could keep it in my thing here. So I'll show you. Well, here I can just do it again, I guess. Here, I'll just call this one blah 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 blah. And here's my spreadsheet. Okay, it's coming. Okay, this is what the data looks like. Okay, so you know, you got to manipulate it a little bit, but this is the data that comes in. And I know, Lloyd, you don't have bars for some reason. I don't know if you have it on or not, but we'll talk about that. Anyway, so this is just all the trades. Just a bunch of gibberish. Doesn't mean anything to you unless you evaluate it. So I will just cancel out of that, not save it. Okay, so here's my chart or my spreadsheet, whatever. This is just a bunch of data over here. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to go reports, Excel. The time zone, yes, it's all New York, and I got there's the gibberish one that I just did, but I'll just take this one. So I'll double click on that, and it bada boom, bada bang, pulls it in, and successful. There it is, and there's all my data. Okay, these are just some highlights. I have different colors that tell me certain things, like reds and greens. Obviously, this just means it's over 550 bucks. So if I looked over here, you can see it's over 550 bucks. You can see I don't have any reds because I don't have any reds going under 500, negative 550. So today was a good day, and I'll make sure we log it as such. But in any event, it's just highlights to say, hey, you know, it's kind of odd. I mean, usually you don't get bigger ones like that. And it used to be 500, but I had a lot of 500, so I upped it. Anyway, there's the data. So now I just go to the dashboard, and I can just switch over to my review data. And clear all my filters. Just clear them all out. There we go. So there's my data. So this is what we did this morning. I guess we could start with, let's start with pre-market since we did that first. This is just today. These are just the things that I'll break them out. So 6E, nothing. ES, had 2 trades, good ones then. Nothing much. Not the CLs. CL and ES is the winner for today. Go to the New York session. GC, BZ, which is Brent, RTY, which is Schizo, The problem is with this, it's not schizo market. It's just the settings are not designed to be schizo. So if you're gonna trade a schizo market, then you need some settings on steroids. Anyway, so that's a different topic. There's our winner for today. And then YN. Oh, I have NG. NG had news today, but anyway, maybe that's something to do with it. I don't know. We can evaluate it if we want to, but then YM. So YM, ES, and obviously the market was up today. So if I'll just put them all back on. This is everything in the day, and here's the breakouts if you want to see them that way. But so let's go to ES since that's the big one. So ES, both sessions had 11 trades. Our heat was 11 ticks of heat that we had to take, but our favorable was 45 ticks to the favorable side, and our we gave up 22 trying to chase it. So this is what I was talking about earlier in the video. You know, I like to kind of shave that off a little bit. You know, if you had targets, but right now I'm just grabbing data, so I could kind of see what the extended moves are. You know, we took 45 ticks, but it went 67. So it's kind of nice to know that it could go that far when it does. Of course, you have to recognize a trend day, but that's a topic for another day. But anyway, this kind of just tells you that we collected 45 ticks with 11 of heat. It's a pretty good ratio, but we gave in my eye too much back. I don't have to go into the trade account, the trade. I think I have that here. Let me show you here real quick. So let me put this up here if I can. How do you get it up there? There we go. So if you go to algos, is it algos? Yeah. My trade candle, and then trade candlestick. So this is what it would look like if you really spent some time looking at it. If you go back to the actual, was it this one? Yeah, there's a candlestick. Yeah, I don't like that one. Anyway, you can just see that it shows the for longs, it's positive longs are green and winter shorts are red and yellows are bad either direction. They were losers. So in any event, you can see right here it goes down a little bit. This isn't this trade, by the way. This is a picture off the web from whatever day it was. In any event, so you can see it takes this much of heat and it goes all the way up, and then we give this much back. Now here you get it. That's a target. That's that's kind of nice to see. So it comes down and it goes all the way up, hits your target, and you notice you don't have any ETD. It's like $0 or $10 for commissions, whatever. But maybe a tick or two, whatever. The point of it is that I do kind of like to see a little bit, because then you hit the top. Without my extensions, you're not going to know what the top was after you got out, because Ninja stops tracking right there. So once I have the extension code, which is kind of there and kind of not, but once I have it there, I'll be able to track it, and that's where the grade comes in. If you come over here to our trade grade, where is it? So it's over here. Yeah, right here, the grade. We're working on that right now, but it's going to be a two-part number, and it's going to be what the first numerical part will be your grade 1 through 5. 1 bad, 5 good, 3 pretty much scratch, and then based on the 30-day averages, the last 30 days, which will rotate. But then the alpha part of it will be what the actual the trade did when you were out. So, for instance, if you have a 5 or 5A, that means you did well and the trade did well. But if you get like a 5B or 5C, that's going to mean that you got out at the top, the trade came down and pulled back. So you kind of compare yourself with the trade after you've gone in. You're able to kind of compare and see you know, what you got, and I'll go over that later. I don't want to get too involved in that, but in any event, and then the other thing is that it started to go down. We were up to like 50, I think 51, and it started to go down. It didn't have the discipline manager on it, and so that's where, you know, these kind of things would you know, rank up. If you want some information on that, just in case you're wondering, you go to indicators, and then discipline manager, and there's a couple. Okay, there's a couple of videos on here you can kind of check out. Whatever tells you a little bit about it. But in any event, that's that. So I think that's it for today. Pretty good day, good trend day. And I'll leave this short and sweet. All right, bye.